These books are the Bible of the Hebrew University, Talmud department. This is written by Epstein. Epstein was the head of Machon Heritage when I first came. That's why I found all about it. And this is the beginning of the historical philological approach. The historical philological approach is one of the things that I went to Rabbi Zimmerman originally to fight. Because it creeps into all over, it already exists in Israel all over. It was a nest that Rav Shach came along and knocked out. I told you the whole story about it, I don't want to get involved in it. What's the problem? The problem is sugyas. Sugyas. Historical means how it development of sugyas, how the shas is broken up. How do you learn a text? So we, the yeshiva world, learn a text dafka, and then we go to. So when you get into a problem of a Gemara, so how do we solve a Gemara? So they have ways of their solving their Gemara. They say this is first, this second, this was added, this part was added by the Talmud, this is this according to that view, and they podge it up their way. Now I went to Rav Zimmerman to solve my problem, but he never solved my problem. So I have no way of solution. This is the worst enemy for players. The worst enemy of players. So this guy was a religious guy, don't get me wrong. And this is the time it was opened up. The same thing why I fought against Shiur is because he also was teaching in university. Why was against Abramsky also university with Tosefta? This was the world that was. Came along Rav Shach, and all these guys crumbled down, and Abramsky fought Rosh Yeshivas, like Rosh Yeshivas. Not what you think. Well, they told okay, because Tosefta university. We follow. You have to know all the stuff how they do it, but you have to know how to solve their problems. I don't know totally how to solve all the problems. Well, one day it will be solved, but not their way. Although these guys are scholars, but we are Talmidei Chachamim Lambda. Now the Almighty gave us a gift that you have the Nachlas of it on how to handle the textual problems of it. This is Mohammed, but he goes into Svara, is Medagdig back to what they are just shitchi outside. They have a problem, they solve it. Shitchi. Shitchi is, they solve it. And they have sources for it. They have the Rabbeinu Tam, the Hakdom Rabbeinu Tam, and they have other pieces, except wherever we say it, Chazal say or Tosas, they limit it to there. They use their theory all over. They extend it all over, and therefore they are free, and they have different solutions to Gemara, and therefore it comes out there's a certain historical development, a different period of time, and this and that. We have the way we solve it. One of the things you're going to gain from in the Nachlas David is how he handles a Gemara, a master handles a Gemara May and Bay. Now we're going to argue a little bit of Gemara here and there. Who knows what we'll do? We'll argue, we'll see. But at the end, if you can pull out of it rules of understanding of sugyas and what one does and the other one does, you'll come out to a big gain, future 5 years, and when you'll need it against the fight the Apikosim on the text. That's one of the things. I brought these to show you. I just want to see. I got to take it home because it's Exhibit A. Exhibit A. No, the guy was a Talmud Chacham, and he was the head of Machon Heritage. And that's why I found out about him. No, of course it's. You see, it depends how it's done. It's the opening of historical logical approach. He is the master. Nobody has fought him yet. Nobody won against him. If you can get something against him, you get a doctorate. And even his Aramaic Bavlit that he has, there's no better book out yet. His thin book on Aramaic Bavlit, there's nothing like it. He was the master of masters. Nobody. I asked my friend. We had a guy. I don't know if you remember him. A guy named Syrian. Assis. He's the one that gave me these books there. Assis. He ran over from Syria. Knows Aramaic and all that stuff. He teaches Yushami. Knows all Yushami. I brought him one time to teach Aramaic and Yushami. He knows it all about that. But he turned not religious. He went out with girls. He's not married. He wanted to say Havel Havolim, a little Havel I wanted. He made other girls. He wanted to. That's what his whole thing was. But down deep, he's a tznius guy, learned, and he is a big man in the field. And I asked him when he got me these books here. He gave me the tour. These tours he got me. He gave it to me to the yeshiva. He said to me that nobody yet has disproven the Aramaic, any book better than Aramaic Bachlit, and nobody has disproven this guy. Nobody. And you say a little vort, you know, a little kasha, a little horror, it's like their Bible. Anyway, you have to know this is the worst thing. No, the development, what he did is good. You have to know how the structure of Gemara works, how the structure of the Gemara. You have a Mishnah, you have a Brisa. Yeah, now we're going to be involved in the problem because, as we're going to see right now, we're going to have the nituach of the Nachlas David, and there's a problem. You have Gemara Psochim and you have Gemara Nazir. You bring one to the other. What happened over here? You have Eidah Zora. So. And you see a little shift in what happened here. So how do you explain it? So they'll explain it their way. So we have to explain it our way. But we explain with lumdis, with diukim, with this and that, and they'll explain it their way. And this is I hold it's a good piece, and we see a master how he does it. Again, so I want to start the piece. We have to start the piece, and therefore you make some guys feel that, oh, you rabbi, this is dry. They said in the other shit. No way. To me, I give it a kiss. This is a master. This is how I used to learn May and Bay. I taught this years ago back, because in my days of strength, back, forth, this is very interesting. You see how a master works. I don't think anybody today can duplicate this. All the Rosh Yeshivas don't duplicate it. Because it's a master. A master is a master. You'll find out. Anyway, so we so part of the problem is to understand is kasha, understand what is teretz is. And the teretz is, you got to understand that how he breaks down the sugya, but he also with svaras, not snap. It's breaking down this thing with svaras. And by the way, we did this last. See all these notes that you have here. That was photostated. This is from David Saxon, his notes at the time that we studied it a long time. I didn't know we studied it, but my goal today is not this. My goal is basically Rabbi Zimmerman after this. We have to know. Now, I want to start off the topic today with getting in the piece. Yes.
You said to learn how to learn. Don't we go shock to the Torah? Isn't that enough to understand a sugi? If you go dive in shock to the Torah, you can work out a whole sugi. You need a special way, a special style of this and that.
You got to know how to handle shock to the Torah. Shock to the Torah is although it's technical, but it's svara also. Shock to the Torah means that every step has to be logical, and every step forces the other step. Otherwise, they're a force. And mainly my main learning, which I learned in my yeshiva, from my Rosh Yeshiva, is Shakla V'Tarya on Tosos. And when I got involved with Rabbi Zimmerman, I started involved with concepts, Bein Chaim, and I'm involved already, maybe 15 years already, and then Rabbi Chashmuels and all that stuff. So I already switched my lines. One of the things here is I'm going back to my old line again, and trying to find the synthesis of the two. At first I fought Rav Chaim Alevi. He's logically correct. I said, I have alternatives. I used to go with bring down the Chazon. He used to fight, and I had my own ideas, and I had other possibilities. But at the end, I held that Rabbi Zimmerman is right. I held that you need both, and I had a fight with Rabbi Zimmerman for years. He used to fight me, call me all kinds of names. Because he couldn't read. I said the Gemara is against the Lashon. Lashon, main thing is ideas, concept. Lashon, there's two types of people. There's people who hear words and people who have concepts. And this time, I said, no. Anyway, for years. Anyway, at the end, two things I understood. I must tell you the truth. I understood that my old method is very hard to do.
It's very what?
Hard to do.
Hard to do.
Shakla and Tayim fighting every loop is very difficult. Most people don't want it. If they do, they're a point that they cover ground, they collapse, they do a little bit, they don't really go into the deep back and forth. Second of all, in the world already, the accepted way is basically brisk, with kashi, with a look at it, and as far. So I'm fighting in a world that's already gone. I used to fight against Lubavitch, used to fight against what do you call it, Breslov. I used to fight for rights and justice and morality and point. And I stopped already. I'm already 15 years old. Why? I get nowhere. I make our thought. At the end, it's quibbling. Forget about it. Get the bigger picture, grow bigger, and grow further. And somehow along the line, we'll make a connection between the two sides. One day, somehow, somebody here will be zeicher to make the May and Bay like the Divrei Cheskel with the conceptual idea of Rav Chaim Halevi somehow. make a connection, how to work together. Okay, I always said that, and I always said to stand on that when Mashiach comes, he's going to solve the problem. We'll see how a new method of solving, a new method of thinking. Because we have what we have. We need a new method of thinking or new thing that will somehow solve problems differently in another way, but not their way. Anyway, let's get back to our problem. So to me, you may be wondering why is Rabbi Goldstein hanging on this old thing, Tom Kiku, these cheap books. But to me, it's very exciting, and it's very important, and I hope you guys get excitement. There'll be time in between that this is hard work, it's a discipline, but at the end, you'll find it's very rewarding. Very rewarding. And this is real learning. This is learning. This is what you should be learning in Yeshiva day and night. And I hope in Mirz Hashem, in Elul time or Tishrei time, I'm switching my line. My line will be then, I'm going to do either the Noshim and the Zikim and the Noshim, I don't know which way, and every day, 2 months a week, Marashi Taisus, Mashur, to creep in again. I'm going to forget about all the other stuff, I'm going to do that. Getting back in, Hashem will be Zeicher. And the Daf Yomi, since it will be anyway, Brachas and Shabbos and Erev and so that will be, that'll change its focus. So whatever you can get, you get. But to do now to change when we have Nida and a few hard Masechtas, if you don't have, and also you're already trained every day to come and put the time, it's a training to discipline yourself every day in the Daf. So then I feel that there'll be a change and be able to cover ground and not to read better and be better. So to everybody. That's the point. Anyway, let's get back to it. Now we have a chess game, pawn to king 4, an opening move. The opening move is Rashi, and the problem of Tam Ki'ika. Comes along our dear friend, the Nachlas David, and he says a revolutionary thing. Pirush the Milsa, the Tam Ki'ika who Shahete Nefach Lios Isor Mulamandi Islay Yerusha Tam Ki'ika Loki Alkol. What forced the Nachlas David to explain Tam Ki'ika in terms of Nepach? Rush? No, I'm going to talk about what forced it. No, but what's the force and what's the svara? If you asked me, if I had a chance, we'll talk about everything. This is an opening move. You got to get an opening move. If you asked me, I would say simply, we had a Hakir of Chaim Halevi. What is Tam Ki'ika? Is Tam Ki'ika, the Ika is what? The Tam is just to tell us about the Ika. So Tam is nothing but a similar dava, a barama. And the main thing is Ika. So Tam is 0 from 0. Or no, Tam Ki'ika is the Isa. But if Tam Isa, I can say many svaras. I can have svara that it's choshuv, like the Rashba. I can say this, tell you so it's not bottle. I can say a svara to say that, okay, it needs, it's tarfus, so they can get for Shiur or something. But where do you get this word nepach? Nepach is a chidush niflad mode. It's a bombshell of a svara, and especially not this double. The whole heter tabisa, it's like Tam Ki'ika is a svara pshita. Why should it be? If you hold the svara of nepach, you understand? Let's get first the svara. If you have the svaras of nepach, that to me is a chiddush niflad mode. It's like a lakotza. It's like an extreme position. Am I with me, Israel? Where do we get? Where does it come? The svara of nepach to such a degree. We have chashivas. First, we started to say that Tam Ki'ika, the Tam is to tell us about the Ikas. The Tam is 0, and if the Tam is something, and then it's only what? Maybe it's choshuv. Maybe you need a kazais lechilas pras. Maybe it's not bottle, and therefore but they get this word nepach. And by the way, I want to explain to you, nepach does not mean chanan. I got to explain. Chanan is a svara that when this thing is asur, that you say nepach. The shaila is when it leaves it affecting the others. How do we determine this piece that goes out? Do we say it? This now becomes a new shenisa and therefore goes out. Or since a piece goes out, who says it has the time in it? There's no time going out, so it doesn't have the time to go out. So then it's nothing. It's like already already went out. In other words, heter nepach lios isa doesn't necessarily mean chanan. But still, when you get the word nepach, what is nepach? Is it a din in shiur? Is it an isur? What happened over here? When you get such a great svar like that from? And why? What forces it? I mean, this is the beginning move to understand. Okay, what do you want to say? You say Rashi says it. Okay.
The question is still a question. What the Rabbi asked.
Yeah.
But really, the question is on Rashi.
Yeah. Let's get Rashi.
They just bring Rashi.
Let me get my Rashis here.
Reverse.
The word nepach in my English translation in this called it's called
Transformation.
I don't know.
Reverse. No, not just change. It's opposite. It's reverse.
Reversal.
He reversed the opposite. He was a
Reversed it.
Reverse?
Yeah.
That's
the word.
Afuch. It comes from Afuch.
It comes from the word hefer. Opposite. It's opposite.
Okay. Where's the Rashi?
Mipat.
No. Everybody has it.
Mem dalet
88. Okay. Mem dalet. Everybody got it. Okay.
Once you said it changes into, that's it.
Overturns. Overturns.
The etymologically come from Afuch. It means that he transformed himself from the opposite that he was. He was Ete, he become Afuch. In this case, yeah.
Right. And this is really what he brings himself also.
Yeah. He's a famous Rashi.
Let's read it. Let's read it inside, gentlemen. 88. Go ahead. Read it out loud. Go ahead.
מפת ומיין חייו, בלי גרבן עליה, דלת לי הוא היתר מסתעף לאיסור. If they don't have against Rabbi Akiva, in Mishchas, היתר מסתעף לאיסור. והילו, but, if it was,
פשט
היין in כל הפת, if the wine will be in all הפת, לא אבו פליגי, everybody agree here that it will be אסור. רבנן עליה. דעה, היתר הוא תמקיקה, because that will be תמקיקה, it will be not היתר מסתעף לאיסור. והתהוות לפת גופו אסור. Here. Meaning, is that is a raya of the but it will become the pat himself asur. So that is the famous the famous Rashi that all means
yeah, but what? Okay, good. The sabe le pat gufe iso. Okay, we can say it in a few muvanim that the pat becomes gufa also in the sense that it's nepach, or you can say in a sense that it all becomes hashivas for the thing, or okay. But this is now what is the svar of Rashi? What forced Rashi to that degree? Again, we have the source of Rashi, and he really brings down here. We'll explain right away. He really brings down here the same Rashi. But what forced Rashi to give that svar? I have other possibilities. I could say the same svaras, the same two cases, and we can give another story to the thing. That the yain goes to all the pieces, and therefore it has chashivas and it becomes awesome. And not that it's nepach lisa. No, not nepach lisa. The pot doesn't goof also. But mitzvah, since there is yain in the past, so automatically, and every time you touch the pot, you have a yain in it. So therefore, it's awesome. But not because it's nepach lisa, the pot. You're eating yain with pot, except since you can't separate it, so the mele it becomes awesome. In a simple word, why do you get the word nepach?
Where's the shiur?
What?
Where's the shiur?
Where's the shiur? It's very simple. We have.
Maybe you need a kazayit.
Maybe you need.
Some people need a kazayit.
No, nobody argues on. Maybe they need a kazayit, like the Shita Saramba. If I'll hold the svara of nepach, then I'll need a kazayit for his past. But if I hold that the time is kiika, then and what I need hepach for? I want to make sure I get it. Because I say his pras. If I can hold heter mitzvah fleisa, so I can help. I have a shear heter mitzvah fleisa. I'll get a shear.
If you ask
me a shaila for shiur, if we'll ask a shaila for shiur, so I can say I can hold. I don't know if we can, but we'll see right away. But according to the Nachos Davana, but if I could, in Svara, I would say, why not? I'm a free agent in Svara. I can dream whatever I want to dream. Nobody can tell my mind what to dream or what to think. You can tell me what to do. You can tell me I can't think of a Zora, but anything else, I can think of all possibilities. So I can have in my mind the possibility of Tamki. Can have the possibility of something. I can have, because I said the pras. I can have them stuff Isa. I can say many svaras for sure. I can say, unless you'll say the opposites. They're exclusive. But simply speaking, or I can hold it Tam Kiika means it's Kiika. It's Mamish Mamosho. It's also a possibility. Like Mamosho, I have to run, and every piece I have, and I have the Mamosho of the Isa. What's forcing Rashi? What is the Svaras Hadova? What is the force? Come on, guys. I'm limited in my time. At 1 o'clock, I got to run out of here. No, I got an appointment. And so, you're not Zeicher to learn. You're not Zeicher to learn.
We don't need it in Shavuos.
Yeah, I'm going to learn. Come back and show. I really want to go through the Shitas. I'm Zeicher to learn on the road, but I'll do it definitely. And definitely, I got to finish this. I don't know if I'll finish rolling Shiur, so I'll try. I'll do something.
You still make a Hakira. David makes a Hakira that he said in Rashi is two din. Is a din eter tziruf and a din nefach. Meaning, maybe what pushing Rashi to explain nefach is because when it's tziruf, what's the pshat of tziruf? Because going Rashi is not that the eter can give dinim for the issue, even if the eter is still an eter. It's not nefach itself. It's a bigger chidush. Eter is not issue. Even the issue is a chetzi kazait, and the heter is a chetzi kazait, and they're not meurav according to Rashi. Even like that, the heter can help me to bring the dinim that I need on the issue, like shiur, like everything. And that is so big chidush that we don't accept.
But it won't be ne'apah.
No, it will not be ne'apah. But since the people disagree with him, and we have a more kula shita to explain. So Rashi said, I cannot say no, the one that don't hold eter. He explains the shita that don't hold hold eter mistav leisu, but yes hold tam keika. Why? So they cannot accept this fara that the eter is still eter just in a gene to give me genes that I need for the isu. It's a too big chidush for them. So you have to say that everything become asur. Everything become asur. How everything can become asur? The tam, the effect of the tam make that the eter become isur. And I think it's far.
I said something similar to that, but different. I already said 2 weeks ago. I taught the only real classes I taught was my oldest year 2 weeks ago, and yesterday we just started the Gemara. And I wanted to say a shvar like this because really, I said this for 2 weeks ago on my Friday shiur. I said like this: if I say what is tam, if I hold. And especially according to the Nachos David, I can say this one. If I hold that tam is really nothing, or we said it even a similar davar according to the Chaim Halevi, a similar tam is nothing, or no, even a whole tam is something, but shut something. So the Nachos David wants to hold, and he says it later on when he wants to explain the piece. That there's a smart to say that tam is like mamosha. Because if tam, how do you get heter mitzvah for the isa? Unless you'll hold that the isa is something. Because if the tam is nothing, if you don't hold tam kiika, so then you'll hold tam is zero. If tam is zero, you don't have heter mitzvah for the isa in case where there's some tam. So unless you'll hold, no, hold on, let me explain. This is what he said. Unless I hold that tam is mamosha. When it's mamosho, so then I can then have to mistaflisa. If that is a true svara, in other words, if I'll hold tam kiika is zero, but I still can hold het to mistaflisa, but that's really one of the svaras. Rabbi Yochanan holds, I'll leave it to Shitas Rashi, that what het to mistaflisa, and we don't hold from tam kiika. If you don't hold tam kiika, tam is zero. So what do you all have to mistafli? So what happened over here? So you got to say, he brings it up. It must be the time. It's mamosho.
where the reason my mushroom.
Oh, that's where my mushroom. Yeah, but you see,
no time.
look, let 1 second. Let me explain it. If you want me to explain a little better, but I don't want to get into. The Shitas Harashba. They say that Shitas Harashba that ochel is what you have ochel. This is Lampner said this way back. I pushed them away, but we all argue. But the Rashba said this one. But we didn't want to get involved because we're involved in the Rashba. That what is food if not taste? If you have food without taste, what are you eating? Vitamin pills. And infusion. What are you eating? What are you doing over there? Listen. Okay, Chomer. So therefore, Tom makes some. Tom gives it's chashivas for stuff. Okay, but we also can say that even in science we can say Tom is a quantum. Time is not just air. Even reach, we're able to put little colors on it, or translate it in all kinds of machines. They can show you reach. They can show you. Sometimes also may have mamoshos to it. Except the difference is when you put it together, you don't see it's a kamashu and less than a mashu. Like color. Color is not. It's a pigment. So you say, where is it? They have ways of proving. They take take a screen, which is the whole basis of computers, and you find little dots. That's a dots together make a picture. So when your naked eye sees it, you see color, you see form. So the same thing is time could be a mamosha. If you're talking in modern science, it could be a mamosha. Except there's not such a small amount, so we don't consider it called not an ikar. It's called a mikra. It's not called an etzem, whatever it is. But you can say no. It does have value. Or they'll say no, color is only a reflection of the eye on the thing, but okay, it reflects this way, that way, but anyway, it's not in the thing. And then anyway, but if we'll hold this one, especially according to the Nachlas David, that Tamo is a mamashal. If we'll hold Heter Mitzvah Fleece, and we will hold Tam Kika doesn't exist, it's Midrabon, it's nothing. So how can you hold that story? So he says that the time he'll hold that what? That still it's called mamosho, and it's enough to be considered hetemis tarflis. If that is true, so now when we're not going to hold from the svara that tam is mamosho, so we get to tam is not mamosho. So then how can you, like you asked me, what do you do with it? How do you, where's the quantum? How do you get a measurement in it? So therefore, in the head, the whole time is zero. So how do you get it to be something? You can't say it's something, but it's nothing. It's air. It's wind. It's smell. It's nothing. So in order to give it to Tam Ki, it can be something. You have to make that nothing into something. This is really what you're saying. You have to make that nothing into. Let me just tell you the svara. You have to make a nothing into something. You have to make a nothing into something. So to the svara say, you make hetem it's tarflishes nepa. In other words. I could say, if I have a svara and two svaras in front of me, I have in front of me, time is zero. Time is zero. Now, I can say to you, where's the shiur? So I say, what do you mean? Heter mitzvah. If I say it's nothing, so what good is heter mitzvah? Where's the isa? It's not. So you'll call it a name, but where is it? What is it? How it's mitzvah? Elamai, you'll say it needs a shiur. I'll give it din shiur. Okay, but it has to be something. So how do I get nothing to something? So I can say a shiur. A shiur, right? Dear man, a shiur is when you have something, you can add something to it. But to say that it's nothing and then you give a shiur to it, where is it? It's a din with a shiur, with a separate. So therefore, those who hold in the svara that you need a mogusham, a some kind of a quantum measurement. So therefore, for them, it's easy to say, like Rashi will hold, and what that the time it has to be nepach. The Isa Tehet, in other words, it has to be part of the Etzem Dova. According to the Shitas Rambam, who holds Tam Ki'ika, he has Kazais K'defras, where you're going to get, he holds it something, but you need, where's your Kazais K'defras? Where's your Malkus? Where is it? He says, I'll make a Kazais, I'll put it together and get, in a certain shear of time, you get a measurement, that's good enough to get your Malkus. But if the whole time is nothing, and you can't even say Het to Mitzvah for the Isa, why? Because it's nothing. How are you going to Mitzvah if it's nothing? If you hold mamash or something, so I can so hetem is tar, please. You with me? I can hetem is tar. But if I hold it's nothing. So how am I going to get a quantum? If I hold I need a quantum. If I say I don't need a quantum, hold on. And then I say, okay, air. I don't smell air. But if I hold my starting point is that is nothing. But the Torah holds that has a din. So in order to have a din, I need a quantum. So I just can't say measurement. Take a measurement and put onto it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I have to have a bone, I have to have a structure to put it onto. So the Shvar to say that it's hete nepach lisa, that in order to give it, otherwise where is it? It has to be part of the etzem adav. It's not just to make a shiur to the thing. It has to be part of it. So therefore the language of this, let's tell you a story. You don't like this story, you don't like it. I said this 2 weeks ago. But it's came what he said a little bit, my son Doug, I'm happy to hear he said this, that Piush the Mills to the Tanki Kahu, Shaheta Nepach Liosis, Velamandi is laid Rosh Tankika. Loki Akov Natu Af Shein Boy Mina Isa Elamat. In other words, he holds that it's Nepach Lisa, so it has a quantum, it's like a unit, that's the Isa. Now you'll ask me, Rabbi, what about Hanan? I said, 1 second, this is when it's together. Hanan means when it goes outside. So maybe when it separates, it's different. Who says it has the din of the Isa when it's separated? That's a new din. That means it has a Chaloi Shem Isa Lagabe, a new Isa called Hanan. And we don't know. That's another story. We don't have to put the two together. We can put it together. Okay, yeah, but I'm not talking in the Shishon. I'm talking in conceptually of the thing itself. This is what we know. In this state where it being it is there. What do you want to say?
Rabbi's Svara makes sense where there's only time. It's a piece of meat. Was nivla, the time of the piece of meat was nivla into the other thing. But Nachzdala brings down if actually a piece of chayla falls in, and there's the muach inside, we know much chayla is in there. It's actually in there. It's a piece of chayla. We can measure it. He still says tam kiga. There's nefach
yeah. Because I'll answer that simply. So if Shaila is no. The Shaila is how you start. Here's you have the lashon, the yesod din. What's the yesod din? You see, which is first? Nimuach of the chalev is the beginning start, and then we know, or you're talking about the other thing. We asked this question, and let's say it gets melted. See, there's a way of now weighs more, so you can see it. So we also told you there's a thing called logic. Logic tells you it's there. We have logic you can measure. We know, even though we don't see it, we can measure it in logic. We put it in, it didn't disappear. Matter doesn't disappear. So what happened? And so what over here disappeared, what happened there? We say, well, you see, weight didn't change. Maybe weight does change, a little weight, but there's more weight than was before. And so you say, well, you see it's still there. Or we can say, no. If the Yesod din of Tam... because that's he's holding. He says like this, that's why I started with him, really. If he holds, that's why I started with him, really. If he holds that in his idea, if we hold Tam Kik is only the Rabban and Tam Kik is 0, he can still hold the Svara of when Chalev is Nimuah into it, he can hold Hetem Istafisa. Okay, yeah. Why? Because again, that's exactly the Svara, because he wants Magusham. So his Ika Svara is Magusham. So now, when you'll hold Tam alone, which is not Magusham, he has to get to a Magusham Svara. So he has to have the word Nepah. That's the whole goof of the Svara. That's all goof of the Svara. If my starting point is, if Magusham, it has a quantum, a measurement, a touching, a something there. Now, if I will hold a Svara that Tam alone, it would even is also, and anyway you got Tam, that's also, and that's the Isa. The quality of Tam is such that you can't weigh it, you can't touch it, you can't, but you'll taste it. In other words, there's senses. So why say the sense is only the sense of touching and weighing and seeing? Maybe there's another sense called taste, and that has its own identity, its own life, its own value, and the Mela has an Isa own. So then what's the problem? Elamai, we brought down originally when we started, if it has a strong time, then we got this, I forgot which Rishon we had originally. I forgot, who knows? Anyway, ready? I don't know. Anyway, he said has a stronger time. We didn't want to get it involved with a quantum or a chayfet. But definitely, but since the Nachman himself holds from that, you understand? I'm saying this way. You didn't go to him. Gosh, what's the Yesod din? See. So then he says, once already I have that, as far as if if its chaylev is becomes melted, it's even a svar to say that it also is Isa, happens to have Isa. So now when I say Tam Kika, I'm not talking about chaylev that's I'm talking about stam. And stam we hold a big kiddush, and I'm holding, I need a quantum. That's exactly my svar in him. So I said, if it's a svar nepa. Once I have the svar nepa, I say it over there also. That's the Yisod. Yeah, that's what's the Yisod then? The magic word Yisod. Okay, you can say a spell like this. The only problem I have is I want to go into a little.
Just explain what
my next problem is.
You explain what push him into it to do that. If you don't explain the mechanics, I
didn't accept. Well, now we have another problem.
You have to
in order to understand the mechanics, I want a medayik over here. Are these two svaras exclusive or two different? When I say hetem, it's tar for Yisod. Mitapeh. And I hold Tam Kika, are they exclusive? In other words, they if I hold one, I can't hold the other. I hold this, I can't hold that. Or I can hold both. Can I hold both? Hetem is Tarfli Isa and Tam Kika, are they, in other words, are they linked? Are they saying different things? Or they're opposites in a certain place, they're opposites, they can't put together. Okay, we'll see right away. According to him, let's read what he says. The Nachos of it originally, how he speaks. We'll see right away in 1 second.
You have a kasha on Rashi?
What?
You have a kasha on Rashi about it?
I don't have any kasha. We want to understand Rashi. The only thing I will have kasha on Rashi is after you get all the shitas, and then you.
No, you have a kasha.
Yeah.
On Rashi.
Yeah.
No, how's that?
Yeah, he has a lot of kasha. That's here. Hadodi. You saw this one over here. One against the other. Wait, no, this one here. Where's that? Yeah, Rashi. He says, there's one against the other. Rashi came. Steer safety adodi. Rashi is not so glad. Anyway, we'll see right away. Okay, I think he's going to solve what he has. His way of solving. We have to understand. That's good for the lumdus. That's good for the faith.
Why can't this become as quality, which the Torah ushers in quantity of volume? It's not an essence. Tam is not a thing, but it's a quality, and the Torah ushers it by volume, which is kazai. So if you have tam and the wine spills into the bread, any quantity where you find that quality becomes usher only because Lemaisa, I'm not talking theoretically, but Lemaisa is Yerushalayim, you can't get that quantity because the quantity is
that's not true. That's exactly the problem. Those who already gone to Rabbi Deri's class in the first or second year of Hanan, we have a machlokes Rishonim. Okay, what?
We're not talking about the problem if you redivided them.
Can you define them or not? Some people say that Tosu Shitas that maybe we can never take it out altogether all the way out. Well, maybe we can. And all know that even if you can take it out, still it becomes us. There's a problem. We haven't gone to all the
Shemisu was there.
Yeah. So I like your way of explaining this quality and a way of defining with volume. Yeah, but that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said that they want that was you have quality with volume, and that's a way of doing that. But somehow, but the question is, what is this quality? Do we have to? Is it just the volume as an indication? Is it a way of handling for Malchus? Or that is a definition of the Easter itself? The way we learn the word nepach is the definition of the Easter itself, that we can't handle this quality without a volume or without some other ways of having it. We don't want to say measurement, it's like a din d'Rabbanan from Sinai, and therefore mitztare. No, the way we're learning nepach, the way I understand nepach, it's in the basic definition of the quality of tam. Not an added appendage to the quality. How do you get malchus? So we got to create a process like the Rambam. We have to throw that in. Or we have this other way of putting it in. No, we're learning that it's an essential.
When a piece of the bread falls into another kapshul, you can see against that piece also, right? A piece of the bread now that has
I don't know. I don't know.
You need seasoning to the
Yeah, normally, yeah.
That's why it's chanan, right?
No. That's why I didn't want to answer you. I don't know about that. That's I mean, maybe not. Maybe when it gets into the tafshil and the tafshil pulls out all the yayin, I don't need against the bread because it goes into the other parts, and I need only enough to get against it. Okay. That's not my problem. My real problem now is are these two svars exclusive or not? Those means Hetem is Tarlisa, Pras, and Tam Kika are the opposites. I'm going to share right now. I'm going to read the lashon here. I'm going to read you according to one of his kashas here. Then you'll explain me how you're going to explain this kasha. You'll explain me. Yalamdeinu Rabbeinu, how are we going to read Kutach HaBavli problem? We'll see right away. Okay? I'm reading now the Divrei, the Nachlas David. I'm going to go through a little quickly. When I get to Rabbi, I'm going to stop and I'm going to press over here these two parts of kasha that I want. Is it exclusive, not exclusive? According to the and we got to say a svar if it is. What is the svar? Then I'm going to say a svar. Either way, we can say. Okay. The Shittas Rashi Pirushu, the Pirusha the Milsa the Tamki who Sheheta Nepach Leos Isu Ulaman the Islake the Russia Tamki looking Apazazai Minatarod Af Shein Boy Minha Isa Elamat the Zen Nira Mavur Mimasha Kosa Rashi you brought it down mi Pasi Yain Nilu Poshat Hayayin Bekula Pas Havi Pliga Rabbono Leha that it's Asur. ולקח, ומשכח לו רש"י שההת מסתף ליסה גבי מישל רק היחש לא נספשת היין בכל הפסק. In other words, if I put down and say to me, Rabbi, in order to have a name should have a place that is exclusively, you can identify it. Because if it's always mixed up, so how do you know? A name should be on something that has its own identity. Only means a place. We have a place of an own identity. You have one place where the wine goes to the whole pot, and you have a place where the wine is limited and doesn't go to the whole pot. So now, if I talk about Tam Ki'ika, it means it goes to the whole thing. Then we have a problem. How's it work? Then how I had to Mistarf Lisa talks about a case where the wine is limited and the pas is separate. Like I said, maybe the wine goes, but there's no time in it, so therefore we don't say it has no value if it went to the past. So there we're going to say hetem established. We have already a case where we can say a nafkamina between the two. There means an identity in the two cases, and we're able to show what it is. So now if I get a case that's together, so I say, hey, that's the case of Tam Kika. And I'll say to you, if it's separate, I'll say, oh, that's the case of, if it's together, I'll say, it's Tam Kika. And if it's separate, I can say, oh, that's Hetem Estaf Lisa. Where they can argue. Well, let's say, what about together? Maybe together also, hold Hetem Estaf Lisa. If I don't hold Tam Kika, but if I hold Tam Kika, maybe I'll hold from both, not another. But where they exclusively argue, it appears to be, but that's not my proof. I want to talk further. That's just the case. ובכן גבי חטס, דמוקי בסוף סוגין, להטה מצטרלי, כוסף נמי, רש"י, דהיינו נמי דולי, איבלה בקולה, ואין ברש"י, רבונה מסתרלי, לצריכי, נמי לא איבלה בקולה. ובקוטח הבבלי, this is the main part. ובקוטח הבבלי. Now what's kukach habavli? You have all these things that come together. Sila Rashi, Diaspora Tamki. Well, kach kosa b'seif shmaitin. Rabbanon lepligo lea de Rabbi Eliezer because habavli less like tamki. In other words, kutach habavli has tamki. If you argue kutach habavli, it means you don't hold tamki. Good. The gam shila Rashi lamanda less like tamkika. Ein shum isa b'tam lechud. This finish is no tam. Why? The rubber less like tamkika b'chul and klal, but the rice will be butter. Which is the Rashi there, which puts together, we put together. That's a very important Rashi, by the way. He puts together Rav Yochanan with Rava, etc. We talked about it, and therefore, this is a big problem with Rashi. And therefore, we see that Rashi holds, according to Rashi, Rav Yochanan that holds that what? That Tamki is only the Rabbanan, and he solves the problem. So that's the Ulafize yesh lo hovin. This is the problem. The my porch big mora. Why did he only bring a raya? The time had the mistarfli only for mishras or the other case maybe, but or hakter chometz. Also, Ilinian chometz and Pesach Nami will have the case of heta mistarfli. Upirash adhodoma ali ruba balav heta mitzlara iflis. V'hoi Rubo, Balav, the Omar Rabbi Eliezer, Haino Dalet Mini Medina, which is what? Also Kuta, whatever they are. Who's with Tamkika? Vimkain, Beloy had to be Nami or Mishum Tamkika. So what?
There's no cushion.
The Eich Korile Hagamora Hatam. What's the problem? It can be called both.
It's not heter.
One second. Let's get. What is the kasha of him? How can we say it? In Cain, beloy hetem mistavli nami osu mishum tam kika. The Eich Korile Hagamora hetem mistavli.
But the Gemara is trying to bring a raya. There's more cases than Mitzvah Felicia. So what are you talking about? That's Kapkika. That's why the issue over there is about coming to pass up stuff. No heter over there. The heter was not asking us issue according to Rashi.
Okay, so what does that mean? That means they're opposite. If I tell you, if I say to you that if I hold Tam Kik and Nepach, so I don't have the case of Hetem Mitzvah. Of course. So good. So we see now, once we see a point.